Welcome back to the Pisces Dead People Die Weekly podcast. We here at the PDPDW say that this SmackDown was pretty good. A little light on matches, but good nonetheless. We did start off with that good John Cena promo, getting us set up for the first official match of Clash in Paris, and the main event of this SmackDown itself. Got to see that, John Cena is actually staying a face and not turning back. It wasn't fooling anybody. It wasn't just for SummerSlam. Like, he's back. I like it. Let's keep the ball rolling on that. But yeah, we got that match for Clash in Paris set up between John Cena and Logan Paul. And we have quite a few what if matches that could happen at Clash in Paris too. We know for sure that there's going to be a match between Stephanie McMahon and whoever wins between Naomi and Io on Raw, this next Raw. So, Naomi is going up against Io Sky for the Women's World Championship. And whoever wins that's going to go up against Stephanie McMahon and Clash in Paris. I still think Naomi's got this one. But, it wouldn't surprise me if Io did take it back. They've been doing unpredictable stuff recently. But other than that, I don't think we have any idea of what we could have at Clash in Paris. But, I got a few what ifs. As of right now, they have the Becky versus Maxine Dupree match on this next Raw, and before that there was the Nikki Bella and Becky Lynch confrontation. So I figure maybe Nikki will come out and try to help Maxine, or we'll get involved with Becky somehow. But maybe Nikki versus Becky for the Intercontinental Championship at Clash in Paris. Maybe Jade versus Julia, since we got that promo earlier today on SmackDown for them handing out cards. Give me a call if you want a title shot, kind of thing. But I definitely think that this next match will probably be a Clash in Paris. Since LA Knight and Seth Rollins match got interfered on by CM Punk, I believe that this next Raw is going to be, CM Punk opens the show. We officially know that from a promo on this last SmackDown. CM Punk's going to open the show. He's going to come out. He's going to talk about Seth Rollins and how he did him wrong and all that kind of stuff. And LA Knight's going to come out and say, yeah, and pretty much be like, look, you screwed me out of my shot. I want a match with you now. You're my target. And they're going to have a match that night. And then there's going to be some matches building up to Clash in Paris, or maybe, this Raw or next Raw we'll have Adam Pearce come out and say it's official. But I think there's going to be a triple threat match between LA Knight, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship at Clash in Paris. Just kind of an off-the-wall prediction. If they don't just do a, Seth Rollins versus CM Punk again, or Seth Rollins versus LA Knight, I think the triple threat match would be good. And that would really help put LA Knight even more on the main scene that he's been trying to put himself on by coming out and talking to folks, whether it's Seth Rollins or Randy Orton, John Cena, and Cody Rhodes. But nonetheless, speaking of Cody Rhodes, maybe Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre at Clash in Paris. We did see Drew eyeballing that WWE Championship and kind of holding it tight before he decided to kick Cody's head straight through the headboard of the announce table and just break it. I don't think that was scripted at all, but what a hell of a play. I hope Cody's okay, honestly, but they could have made it to where that was easily breakable just for special effect, but at the same time, I don't want to just downplay if that wasn't supposed to happen and, Cody got hurt. But I think that, he would have been more hurt had it not broken, just taking a boot straight to the face, full weight of the 6'5" Scotsman, just dropping all of his weight on your jaw against the back of so it's probably best that it did break, but I do think that we'll probably see some more matches for Clash in Paris pop up over the next maybe 2 to 3 weeks, considering that it is 3 weeks away. But I don't think they'll wait until last minute to put one, like they'll wait till the SmackDown before to put one final match. I think they will leave it open. They give you like that last week of Raw to just think about all the matches and make your own predictions. And I'm not going to make any predictions until there's at least 3 matches that have been, announced. We already got the John Cena one. We'll get our answer to the Stephanie Vacour one after this Monday Night Raw. And then we'll just see where the other ones go with CM Punk and, Cody Rhodes. But the first actual match of this SmackDown was the Motor City Machine Guns against the MFT, which was a pretty good match. I gotta give it up. It was definitely different to see them move away from the whole Wyatt Six and other tag team drama, but that's a nice little break for them. The MFT did take that one, but just the perfect segue from there. Like immediately after, Solo was like, I don't have an opponent, I'm ready to fight. And Nick Aldis is like, oh, I can find you an opponent. And then old double time Sami Zayn comes out. Like, he's working double time, guys. He's coming out on, he had a SummerSlam match. I'm pretty sure he did something on last Raw. I just can't remember off the top of my head. And then he shows up for this SmackDown, and then he's going to be up against Rusev this upcoming Raw. Like, he's going to work. Get your paycheck, Sammy. Dang. But, he had to show up in, Canada, right? Montreal, of all places. Come on. Of course, hometown. He had to be there. I mean, we haven't had Kevin Owens in a while, so, he had to have some kind of Canadian go out there and represent, especially, upbeat Sami Zayn. But, Sami Zayn beat Solo Sikoa in that match after the Motor City Machine Guns and MFT. Sami Zayn and Solo Sikoa was probably my favorite match of the night. Like the John Cena and Cody Rhodes tag team match against Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre was good. But I don't know. I felt good watching the Sami Zayn when you just think he's gonna lose because Solo's got the upper hand. But Sami pulls out a fast one. Good job, Sami. And in between the Sami Zayn match and the next match, we got the confirmation. Like, it's been announced on multiple medias, social medias and, websites and such at this point. But I saw the first commercial of in 2026, next year, ESPN is going to get select PLEs. So probably WrestleMania, SummerSlam, certain other big ones, maybe not Saturday night main events, but they said select PLEs are going to be on ESPN. And I just gotta, I'm kind of right there with all the people that are just like, guys, everybody else across the entire world gets to just watch everything on Netflix, pretty much. Then, all the US folks, we have to pay 4 different subscriptions, and I'm gonna do it, and that's the reason why they're doing it, because they know we're gonna do it. Honestly, if we stop doing it, then they might dial it back a bit and maybe put all their stuff on one platform, but maybe 2 would be nice. But I already got the Sling subscription to watch SmackDown, got the Netflix subscription to watch Raw, got the Peacock subscription to watch PLEs. And that's the thing, if ESPN is select PLEs, that means I still got to keep the Peacock subscription for the PLEs they don't cover. So I love WWE, but getting a little bit greedy there. Not gonna lie, it's like y'all are making hand over fist in money. You know you are, and you're charging the people who basically gave you your start, 4 times as much as everybody else in the world. But I'm not hating, just my opinion. I'm not a fan of it. But I will definitely be getting ESPN. I don't have it otherwise. A lot of people, it doesn't matter because they watch other sports. I watch football whenever it's college football season, but aside from that, I don't keep an ESPN subscription, but it looks like I'm gonna have to now. Until I find out like exactly which ones they're gonna have, and then if it's a certain time of year, that like WrestleMania season and the months before that, a few months before that, and a few months after, then keep ESPN for half a year, and then get rid of the subscription and pick it back up later on. I'll do it however I need to, but I'll still be watching what I need to watch. That way I can do this because I enjoy doing this. But moving on to the rest of the matches of the night, we had Chelsea Green versus Charlotte Flair. As Charlotte was giving Alexa, her birthday presents and whatnot. Happy birthday, Alexa Bliss. And the last present of the night for her was Charlotte Flair getting a win via submission over Chelsea Green. Sat there and gave Chelsea a face full of cake and turned around and got her in the figure 8 leg lock. So, gotta love that. It was good, bonus points for Charlotte Flair. Her love's going up. I like how she isn't going like too goody-goody. She is like, she's kind of that friend you hate to be around, but they aren't necessarily using the word friends, are they? But the final match of the night, and the fourth one at that, that's why I say it felt like it was a little bit like more. They had more promos, I'll give them that. But only 4 matches seemed a little bit off. But wait, before the fourth and final match, we got that John Cena and R-Truth backstage mirroring each other, and then R-Truth's like, "If you're back, I'm back." And John's like, "Oh, I'm glad to see you're back, man," and gaslighted the heck out of him. He just gaslighted R-Truth from Canada and back. I'm just trying to think of a pun, but still, nonetheless, that was funny. R-Truth's reaction was great. John, he delivered it well. Good, nice to see that R-Truth is back after all this is said and done. But John Cena and Cody Rhodes against Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre. I just didn't expect to see Drew McIntyre still tagging along with Logan Paul after SummerSlam. But it looks like this is something that might continue. That is until, Drew just decides to lay out Logan, because that's normally how it ends. But at the same time, I was also surprised to see Logan on a regular broadcast. Like, I get it that, he showed up, and once he was like, "Yeah, I want a match with John Cena," and then it got announced as a PLE. I'm like, oh, okay, not surprised about that. But to see him stay and actually perform a regular match on a SmackDown, not just, I'm going to show up and promo for a PLE and only do a PLE match and not show back up and do anything, show up for more regular shows like this, and I'll definitely consider you as part of the regular roster. But if you're barely there, then, you get the, the outsider signs make a little bit more sense. But John Cena and Cody Rhodes, they won, but due to a low blow that Logan Paul struck on John Cena. And that's when Drew turned around and kicked Cody's head through the announce table. And so, yeah, very violent end to an otherwise great SmackDown. Next SmackDown, we get to look forward to DIY against the Street Profits. I wonder if they're going to do like mixed tag team where they're going to throw in Candice and B-Fab. But either way, if it's just the guys, that'll be a great match. Good to see DIY continuing. I mean, I hate to label them as my favorite tag team, but they might just be my favorite tag team, at least on SmackDown. Street Profits are like right behind them. Like it's basically like a tie. It just depends on the mood of the day. One moment a Street Profits are my favorite, and then the DIY takes it over. Just depends on the promos and such. But I just know these guys are gonna put on a good match. These two were two of the teams that were in the original 3-man ladder match, and then they were both in the 6-man ladder match or 6-team ladder match. And, that I can't wait to see it. I'd like to think that DIY will win, just because they've been kind of focused on the Street Profits before the Wyatt 6, and then the Wyatt 6 is the current thing, and then, DIY needs a little bit of love. Then we got a Mello Don't Miz tag team match. I liked seeing that part of the Miz's return was immediately going back to Carmelo. And I like how Carmelo didn't mention like American Gladiators, just like, where were you? You were gone for 2 months. I've been handling my own business, blah blah blah. And the Miz is like, got us a tag team match. Then Nick Aldis walks up. I was like, that's well played. Good to see. I like that. And the Miz is carrying a lot more energy, maybe due to the American Gladiator stuff. But got a Mello Don't Miz tag team match next week. He's going. He announced it, so it's gonna happen. Is Michin going to do cash in that card and try to get a U.S. title shot against Julia? Was that a foreshadowing for next SmackDown? I don't know. I'd like to see it. Michin's been off the scene for a while, and not to mention that basically all of her matches, I couldn't even give you a number, but a lot of her matches before not seeing her, she's lost. So, I mean, to see her get a title shot, sure, but I don't see her winning it. Just saying. So, but good to see Michin back on the scene. Next SmackDown, are we going to see Cody against McIntyre as the start to the build-up to a possible Clash in Paris match? I don't know. We're going to have to sit back and see. But this SmackDown was great, so I'm sure next SmackDown will follow. I did say like a few weeks ago that they all seemed like they were running slow, like on downtime right now. But I think it's starting to pick back up, and I think SummerSlam was the boost they needed to get some stuff moving forward the way they needed to, and the right energy, the right momentum, keeping people hyped, keeping me hyped. But after the weekend is over, prep for Monday Night Raw. Naomi versus Io Sky for the Women's World Championship. CM Punk is kicking it off, and I feel like LA Knight's going to come out and have a word with him, which is going to possibly lead into a match. If not, that Raw, then maybe the next Raw, but I think it's going to be that Raw if they do have a match. Sami Zayn versus Rusev. Jeez. I mean, I'd like to say Rusev would win, but Sammy's been pulling out some stops recently. Some people would say he's winning matches he shouldn't be. But, we'll wait and see. I'm not here trying to make predictions on regular, SmackDown and Raws, even though I did mention I think Naomi's going to beat Io Sky, but I don't know. That wasn't me just trying to be predictive. But, oh yeah, and then we got Becky Lynch versus Maxine Dupree. So, that's 4 matches possibly. Raw might add a 5th match if they don't want to keep it the same as SmackDown. But I'm not complaining either way. So we've went over today's SmackDown, next Raw, and the possibilities of Clash in Paris. I think that's pretty good for the day. So, I think I'm going to call it. If you like what I do here, then leave a like. And of course, comment down below. Leave your opinion on my opinion. Who do you think is going to win these SmackDown matches next week? Who do you think is going to win the upcoming Raw matches? And what matches do you think are going to be set up for Clash in Paris? And while you're at it, go ahead and powerbomb that subscribe button for me. It's much appreciated, and much love to the ones who do. Alright everyone, I'm hopping off here. Peace.